So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. We are webcasting here from 3 locations, and we are here to talk about open data and open government. My name is Greg Wass. I'm the Chief Information Officer for Cook County, and we have a very interesting program with a few presenters here today who have been involved in the Chicago area, Cook County, Chicago, state of Illinois, on open government, specifically with a website that we launched collectively last month called metrochicagodata.org, metrochicagodata.org. So we're here to talk about what that is and how it came to be, but also more broadly the topic of open data and open government in general, and how it is going to help government and how it will help the public. Cook County has offices here in downtown Chicago. I'm here with Mark Kincaid, who is with the state of Illinois. He's the Chief Information Officer for the Illinois Department of Transportation. We also have Sebastian James with Cook County. He's the Deputy Director for New Media. With Cook County, he's with Greg Sanders, who is with CMAP, Chicago Metro Area Metro Agency on Planning. They are at Polycom's office in Rosemont, Illinois. We want to thank Polycom for pulling this all together today. Sebastian is going to talk about the county's take on open data and metrochicagodata.org, and Greg will talk about the value of open data and a little bit about CMAP's MetroPulse data site as well. Cam Caldwell is going to kick things off here for us today. Cam is with Socrata, and he is joining us from Seattle, Washington. And he's going to, I believe, demo the new site and walk us through it and talk about some of the features. And this is a real important thing for us, for all 3 parties involved, the state, the city, and the county. We believe although it may not be the first regional open data site, it's probably the largest one to date, just in terms of number of data sets out there and the possibilities for developers to use the data that's on the site and for researchers to analyze the data that's on the site using not just the data from one level of government, but potentially mashups of data from multiple levels of government using a single API. And Cam will get into that. If you have any questions during this event, we're going to go for just about an hour here today. But if you have any questions while we're running and you're live streaming this and you're also on Twitter, you can use the hashtag #TellTony, which is up there on the screen, hashtag #TellTony. And Tony is Toni Preckwinkle. She's our Cook County Board President. And we are going to pay attention to that. And if we can, when we get to the point after the presentations, we'll do a Q&A from the viewers on our Twitter site. So this will be archived as well. We'll make it available through our metrochicagodata.org site as well as our Cook County site. The state may do that as well. But we encourage your participation and questions today and look forward to really the first public walkthrough of this site and what it means. We're really happy about it. When we joined the city and the state on the Socrata platform, we all agreed with Socrata that our next step would be to do this as a federated site with all the data. We think it makes a lot of sense, and we're going to let Cam kick things off here by walking us through the site. Thank you.
All right, so sounds like I'm on board. Can everyone hear me?
I can.
Good. So welcome everyone. Thanks a lot, Greg, for the introduction. We're very happy to be working with the City of Chicago, Cook County, and the State of Illinois on their open data initiatives. As Greg mentioned, those 3 institutions are using Socrata's open data platform for their open data sites to make public information available and API enabled to the citizens of the State of Illinois, Cook County, and Chicago. And I'm going to walk you guys today through the Metro Chicago data site, and I'm going to take about 10 and 15 minutes to give people a brief overview. So I'm going to start showing my screen. Can the folks in Chicago let me know if my screen is sharing?
Yep, we got it.
Okay, great. So What you're seeing here is the site metrochicagodata.org, and this is a virtual catalog that pulls in information from the sites that are stood up at data.cityofchicago.org, data.illinois.gov, and datacatalog.cookcountyil.gov. Metro Chicago Data virtually pulls in information from all three of those data sites and creates a virtual catalog so that a citizen living in the Chicagoland area doesn't need to know which institution published the data or how it got there, but they can go to the site and search for data sets that are important to them. So we think this is really powerful. It shows the power of open data, the power of being able to have federation across progressive public institutions that want to share data with the public, like these three. And we can see on this home screen, it's a simple interface. So what we've got is a big search button. You can search for any data set that you're interested in. A section down here to explore healthcare facilities, which is just one example of a collaborative effort and mashup of data between the state, the county, and the city. A box to search for business information. This is going to search data sets that are in business category. And a box for resident information, so they can search for public safety, transportation, and education data sets. And down below, you'll see the standards of product functionality to be able to have deep searches, low-level searches on specific terms that you're interested in. And I'm going to walk you guys through a couple of examples of things that a resident of the Chicago metro area might be interested in. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the big search box here, and let's say I'm interested in budget data. I don't know if the budget data is coming from the state, the county, or the city, but I'm going to search for the term budget. And the search is going to go through, and it's going to search records from the Chicago, the Cook County, and the state of Illinois. And you can see here the data sets that are returned are the Cook County budget from 1993 to 2011. That's pretty powerful information. We've got appropriations budget information from the city of Chicago down here. So if I want to filter just by the city, I can do that here. I'm just going to show me data sets from the city. If I want to see, if I want to further filter by data sets from the state and see budget data information from the state, I can click Mr. Lincoln's head there, and it's going to filter them down. And then if I want to just see Cook County budget information, then I can click the federated domain icon for Cook County, and I can see only this data request. But I think the important thing is that citizens, residents, journalists, developers, public servants, they don't necessarily need to know where the data sits. It's not necessarily important to them. What's important to them is that the data is open, freely accessible. On the healthcare facilities exploration map here, I can click this button, and I can explore a mashup of healthcare facilities that have been populated from all three institutions, the state, the county, and the city, and put on a single explorable map. And if I continue to drill down into the Chicago metro area, you can see individual points that represent healthcare facilities. In this case, we've got a couple dental health centers. If I'm interested in, let's say I back up a bit, and I'm interested in WIC facilities in the city, I can filter on women, infant, and children checkbox and find that site provided by the city of Chicago, and an address and a location, and I can get driving information, for instance, to the location. So it's just one example of some of the things that we can do on the data site. On this data for business box, you can search for a business important. Maybe you're looking for a license, maybe you're looking for liquor permits, etc. One of my favorite spots whenever I visit the city of Chicago, which I love to do, is to hit the Billy Goat. So if I search for Billy Goat Tavern, I don't know if that's going to sit at the county or the city, but I noticed that several data sets are returned. If I click on this first one, and it looks like it's taking me to the City of Chicago data site.
No, it's just
And I can go
us that's
inside this
lagging,
data
right?
set.
Yeah, he's remote.
I've got
so we're
7
looking
rows,
at his
Billy
internet
Goat
connection.
Tavern. You guys hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. And I can see the liquor license permits for the Billy Goat for each of the 7 locations. So that's just one example. The possibilities are really endless. The search is very powerful. If I want to explore public safety data sets, I can just look at this data for residents section and click on public safety. And here I can see data returned from, again, all 3 entities. The first data set that's returned is the crime information from the City of Chicago. And this is actually a crime map that the City of Chicago updates on a daily basis that goes back 10 years worth of crime data. It's geocoded and it's placed on a map. So you can actually drill into each reported incident of crime within the City of Chicago. This particular view just represents the past year. And you can see the spot of each individual crime that was reported. That's really powerful citizen interface to the data, and all of this data is also API enabled, which means developers can build apps on top of any data set that sits at Metro Chicago Data. So let's say that I'm interested, I'm in environmental work, and I'm interested in problems with leaky underground storage tanks. I don't really know where that data sits. I can go to the big search bar, search for underground storage tanks. And it's going to go through and search all 3 catalogs. And I get a data set return from the state of Illinois for IPA leaky underground storage tank reports from the incident database. So here's some rich data about all the recorded incidents of leaky underground storage tanks that I can use for my environmental project. So one of the ways that we enabled at Socrata, we enabled the combination and the iteration of these 3 catalogs was to combine the dataset categories from the 3 catalogs virtually into a single one and have roll-ups for categories so that we created, for instance, parent categories for economic development and rolled things like community and economic development, which might be a category that sits on the state of Illinois' site, and the economic, quote unquote, data set category that might sit with the counties, and rolled them into a category called economic development that sits at the Metro Chicago data level. So it allows us to normalize and smooth over different data set categories from site to site. And we think that this is just the first example in an evolution of normalized data, so that soon we'll not only be able to normalize data set categories from different catalogs with Socrata, but also normalize things like crime data sets, 311 data sets between cities like Chicago, San Francisco, New York, Boston, so that that data is explorable and comparable. And we think that the Metro Chicago data site is one of the first steps in that evolution. So I wanted to thank all my cohorts at the city, the county, and the state for all the great work that they've done and to get the site stood up. And any questions, feel free to contact Socrata, and we'll help on it any way that we can. And with that, I think I'm going to turn the presentation over to Sebastian James from Cook County. You guys still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay.
That was
my 15
great.
minutes, right? I didn't want
That
to
was
go
one.
over.
You might have been 14 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't know, but I'll let you slide on that
I had
last
my little-
45.
I had my little stopwatch going.
All right, everybody, remember if you have questions, hashtag tell Tony, tell us on Twitter. We'll get your questions, and at the end of this little hullabaloo, we will do our best to answer them. My name is Sebastian James. I am the Deputy Director of New Media for Cook County, and indulge me while I set up my slide deck here. And there we go. Yes, I am the Deputy Director of New Media for Cook County. What does that mean? That means I'm responsible for digital media, social media, open data, and generally anything that sounds cool / the stuff that nobody wants to do. So I want to welcome you to this webinar today, and going to start into my slide deck. And as you see in the title, Cook County Data, how we got here, where we're going, you see what I'm going to be talking about for the next few minutes. So let's dive in. In the beginning, Cook County was closed. Don't mean to get all biblical on you, but it pretty much is what it was. The county was pretty much closed to transparency, accountability to the public, closed to the change, both inside and out, and generally just closed to the public. But in December 2010, things changed around. A new administration, led by Tony Preckwinkle, came in with 4 goals in mind. Transparency and accountability, those are pretty much self-explanatory. Innovative leadership, how can we take the lead to do things better, to provide improved services, to prove to members of taxpayers and members of the public fiscal responsibility? How can we use technology, use our brains, leverage our manpower and our energy to do things better, more efficiently, provide a higher return on taxpayer investment to the public? So given those goals, and specifically to open data, this kind of change led to the fact that we passed our Open Cook plan back in May of 2011, launched our data.cookcountyil.gov back in 2011, and you are participating through the creation of that site. And as we're talking about today, launching MetroDataChicago.org in 2012. So basically, without those goals, without Tony Preckwinkle, we really wouldn't be here right now, because things would still be the way they were back in the day. So hats off to Tony for having the vision and the foresight to get us here. So let's keep going. So let's look at the Open Cook plan. So this is the master plan that we've been following since it was passed back in 2011. It's basically a 4-step plan. Open Data Ordinance, which the Open Data Portal, Regional Data Portal, which we're talking about today, and continuous improvement and data events, which is some of what we've been involved with during Open Data Week this week. So our Open Data Ordinance, we made a statement. We committed to open government and open data by legislation. We are one of the only units of government in the nation to do this, including the federal government. The feds put up all of these great sites, and I love them and I love to go to them, but did they manage to get Congress to say open data is a law? Haven't seen it. Anyway, so we made a statement committing to open data through legislation. Then we started data.cookcountyil.gov. It's currently home to 259 data sets, maps, data visualizations, data sets posted by Cook County government, maps, data visualizations, and hybrid data sets created by the public and posted for other members of the public to use. We have cities that have created data sets and gone ahead to embed the data sets on their websites. We've had members of the media create data visualizations and embed those visualizations on their websites. We want to see more activity. Part of my job is to generate more activity, but we're happy with what we have, but we're hungry for more. And what we've been talking about today, metrochicagodata.org, the home for all things government data in the Chicago metro region. So continuous improvement, what does that mean? Commitment implies improvement. We're committed to putting up more data sets. We're committed to putting up better data sets. We're committed to staying relevant in the data sector. We're committed to reaching out to the public to engage with regards to what kind of data, what kind of services, how can we help the community with data. That to us is a good definition of continuous improvement. Moving on. So we need to do a better job at posting new data and refreshing existing data sets. There is a vast amount of data within Cook County. We've only scratched the surface with the data sets that we've posted. To be able to take the time to sit down with elected officials, departments, agencies, independent agencies, to find out what kind of data they have, how is it useful to the public, finding a way to post it to the data site. I mean, it probably is a never-ending effort, but we just need to continue working at it and make that process better. Also, under continuous improvement, we will find ways to include the public in the data community. There will be something coming out in the next few weeks that I think members of the open data community and the big data community will be excited about. I don't really want to go into it right now because I would need another 10 minutes. I'm not going to take that right now, but check your Twitter. Make sure you bookmark data cookcountyil.gov because the news will be there, and look for it. And lastly, stay current on changes in the data sector. Now, if you've been staying close to what's been going on for Open Data Week, or if you've been staying close to what's happening during Big Data Week, you'll probably know that the two coincide, and you'll probably know that Cook County is taking part in Big Data Week. We are co-sponsoring a data hackathon, a data science hackathon. It's a global data science hackathon. There are 8 hack teams across the world: Chicago, San Jose, New York, Berlin, Finland, Canberra, Melbourne, and London. And at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, they will receive Cook County and State of Illinois data on air particulate matter. And the goal of the hack is to use that data in order to create a better model for predicting daily, even hourly air quality. What could be the importance of that? Think about it. If you have asthma, if your child has asthma, if your cousin has asthma, if your grandfather has asthma or a respiratory problem, if you can bump into it, if you can find, if you can see on a website, if you can access through a widget on your iGoogle or an app on your phone, daily air quality forecasts, it's just going to make, that information is going to make your It's going to add quality to your life. It's going to save you from possibly showing up someplace or going out in public and wheeze, cough, whatnot. I'm an asthmatic, so I guess I kind of intuitively see the advantage of it. But at the end of this hackathon, the winner will receive a cash prize, and then we will end up doing something very, very, very cool with the model in terms of applying it for public use. Stay close to data.cookcountyil.gov because we'll have more on that. But our participation in Big Data Week shows our commitment to staying current in the data sector. To government, big data is open data. Doesn't matter the size of the data set, doesn't matter how we use the data set. If it's government data, it's open data. We are committed to pushing it out to the public. Now we have another portion of the data community that is committed to finding ways to use predictive analysis to find patterns, make predictions, create tools for better analytics so we can build better management dashboards. We're really, really, really excited about where big data is going, and we've always been excited about where open data is and where open data will be going. So let's keep going. Oh, that's it. I'm pretty much done. So want to thank you all for watching. And we're going to post video of this entire event at data.cookcountyil.gov. Probably toward the end of the week next week, you'll be able to find the video on every page of the Cook County website, cookcountyil.gov. But probably within the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to, the video will live on forever at data.cookcountyil.gov. That's it for me. So coming up next is going to be, if I can get my presentation down, is going to be Greg Sanders with CMAP.
Thanks, Sebastian. So I am Greg Sanders. I'm the information architect at the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning. I'm here to talk a little bit about CMAP and our views of open data, and also just here to talk about the importance and the significance of what we're seeing here today, which for some of us in the Chicago region, I think today represents an enormous milestone in our development as a region and our movement towards transparency, accountability, and effectiveness. A little bit about CMAP. We are the official regional planning organization for northeastern Illinois counties, Cook, DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Lake, McHenry, and Will. For more information about CMAP, you can go to cmap.illinois.gov, and that's where you'll find the GO-TO 2040 regional plan. So this was released within a month before our friends from Cook County and the city of Chicago took office with the new administrations and started us down the path towards open data. At almost precisely that time, we were at CMAP releasing our GO-TO 2040 Comprehensive Regional Plan, which is a 30-year roadmap towards our growth and development and improvement as a major region, a major metropolitan region. So GO-TO 2040 established the coordinated strategies that help the region's diverse communities to address transportation, housing, economic development, open space, environmental, and other quality of life issues. Now, when we released the GO-TO 2040 Regional Plan, it's an enormous document. The entire thing, when printed out, is, I think, 437 pages. But in order to raise up the issues that were most important in our view at CMAP, we highlighted 12 issues, public policy issues that we thought were most important for us to focus on. One of those issues was increasing or improving access to information. Now, if you think about all of the things that go into a 30-year comprehensive plan for a huge metropolitan area like Chicago, all of the different public policy issues from transportation, education, public safety, etc., we felt it was so important to highlight access to information that we made it one of our top 12 recommendations. Briefly, because better data sharing leads to better choices, that is, data-driven decision-making is superior to decision-making made in the dark, and the benefits of access to information outweigh the costs. We do obviously want to acknowledge that there are costs to open data, and all the more reason to applaud Cook County, the City of Chicago, and the State of Illinois for bearing the costs of opening up the data. If you're interested, and I will have this slideshow posted on Cook County's website, but this is the URL to the Access to Information section of the GO-TO 2040 Comprehensive Plan. So improving access to information, the benefits for our region. Well, first of all, it fosters better decision making and helps residents to understand and participate in public policy and investment decisions. And to achieve the efficiency that our region requires to stay competitive in a global economy, we need better access to comprehensive, current, accurate data resources. We need to cooperate across jurisdictions, which you clearly see happening today. Information sharing makes it easier to coordinate policies and operations, improving government efficiency. Open access to data increases the accountability and confidence in government. Businesses are more likely to choose a location where government actions are predictable and transparent. CMAP set up action steps for all of our recommendations. It's fine to make recommendations and say, okay, y'all go out and follow these. But we felt that, first of all, we need to lead by taking action steps ourselves and by recommending action steps for the region. So the 3 action steps related to our improving access to information: number 1, define best practices for data sharing, and we did that. And I've got those best practices appended to the end of this slideshow. Now, I won't be talking too much about those today, but anybody who downloads this slide presentation will be able to see all those best practices. So CMAP has a history of working with other government agencies in open data issues. So in 2006, CMAP founded the Illinois Data Exchange Affiliates, and guess what? Our partnerships included with Cook County and the City of Chicago. So we made some progress back then, but it's nothing compared to what we're seeing today from our friends here on this webinar. So in 2012, we also posted the best practices, as I mentioned, and here's a URL. Secondly, provide technical assistance. CMAP is reaching out to municipal governments under a Sustainable Communities grant from the federal government that will include assistance in data sharing practices. And thirdly, we'll develop a regional web portal, which is called metropulsechicago.org, which combines mapping and interactive charts, etc. And to the extent that time allows, I will be doing a demo of the MetroPulse system. So the guiding principles for our best practices in data sharing are that society works best when information is generally available, government works best when information is shared across divisions, and web technology gives unprecedented opportunities for making data available. Today, that vision is becoming reality with Metro Chicago data. CMAP's contribution at this point to regional data portals is the metropulsechicago.org website, where you can see that we've got a variety of public policy issues highlighted: economy, environment, housing, civic involvement, education, transportation, health, land use, public safety, and coordinated planning. MetroPulse makes data available generally in the form of data visualizations, but you can also download raw data by clicking the CSV button. Now, I should stop here and say that we will be integrating MetroPulse in several important ways with the Socrata platform data that's now available by APIs. So we will be accessing those APIs in order to incorporate important data sets into MetroPulse. So what's next? Open government data is now gaining momentum in the greater Chicago region. In late 2012, local governments and public agencies will be able to host open data sites on CMAP's open data servers. So Cook County is really raising the bar on what's possible for regional websites for data sharing. There are 6 other counties out there, and we'd like to invite municipalities and other public entities from those counties to join with CMAP in putting open data on the web. So we'll be inviting municipal governments, park districts, school districts, community colleges, etc., to join our open data initiative. And then importantly, CMAP will build bridges between our open data platform and the Metro Chicago data platform. The bridges may not be built by the end of 2012, but they will follow soon thereafter. So this is what we really have always said was the most important thing, and that is integration of the public entities in our 7-county region. And that's really what CMAP is all about. So I welcome your comments. If anybody's interested in CMAP, here's the website, cmap.illinois.gov. Here's also my email address, gsanders@cmap.illinois.gov. And then metropulsechicago.org, which is our regional data portal as it is right now, not yet integrated with the one we're seeing today. Okay. So we have a few minutes left, and I'm going to go ahead and do a brief demo of our MetroPulse website. So I showed on the slideshow that there are different public policy areas here. So we can click on any one, like the poverty rate in our region. So the poverty rate is shown here by county, but we can also view the data by municipality level. So what I think this will allow us to do is, with CMAP pulling down data from the Census Bureau and the Bureau of Labor Statistics and so on, federal sources, we will be able to visualize these and then essentially overlay them with locally sourced data that comes from Metro Chicago data. So you can see that the data is also available here in the raw numbers. We've got the raw numbers here. We can actually take counties out of the list and say we just want to see Cook and DuPage, and then we've got just Cook and DuPage. And if we scroll to the top here, we can also see a line chart, which is a time-lapse chart. And again, you have the option of taking out time periods and adding them back in. So let me do this right. So that we could see over time. And once again, the raw data is available here. There's also the mapping component. So if we want to see poverty, we can go ahead and map that by county. With the resolution here, it's looking a little bit cramped, so you can always say pop up in a new window, and then that'll show it in a new window. We can also, if you want to get really into the weeds of the data, we can also select any number of different combinations. For example, you can select all counties like Cook, DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Lake, McHenry, and Will, or you can select municipalities within a county, for example, Cook County. So you could say select all municipalities in Cook County and select data fields, and here's where we can get into, for example, household income. Now the chart isn't able to show you all 124 municipalities in Cook County, so it starts with just a few of them, but then you can also go down to the list here and add additional ones into the list. Once again, the data is available here, and the specific data fields you're looking at are actually, you can change them up and show a different data field, which is now median household income in 2009 adjusted dollars. Map that, and there you are, 124 municipalities, and we can zoom in, etc. So that's a brief look at MetroPulse. Just to remind you, you can also download that data as a CSV file, and you can also save a link, a URL, to be able to recover this page later. And I think that would suffice for a quick tour of MetroPulse. Again, if anybody has any questions, my email, if we can return to the PowerPoint for a second. gsanders, cmap.illinois.gov, and we welcome any questions, comments about our MetroPulse system or about CMAP's open data program.
All right. Thank you, Greg. It's a great site, CMAP. Now, I'm looking at our Twitter feed, and I just want to remember for people to send in your questions. Tell Tony I don't see any so far. Maybe you're all just so blown away by what we have to offer. You're speechless online, and that's a good thing. So coming up to our next and final presenter. His name is Mark Kincaid. He is the CIO for the Illinois Department of Transportation. Mark Kincaid, as I said. Mark, if you're ready to go, let's get you started.
We're ready.
Thank you, Sebastian. Don't know if you can hear me and see me now, but see.
Yep,
Good
we got
afternoon,
you.
everyone. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm the CIO for the state of Illinois, Illinois Department of Transportation, and we're excited about this event and the data portal. Last June, under Governor Quinn's leadership, he appointed the Illinois Innovation Council and the state of Illinois agencies to work together to publish government data. He is fully committed to transparency and will continue to add data to this website. He continues to push for more and more information to be put out there. And again, we're excited about the value that this brings. So today, I thought it would be a good opportunity to actually show you what a couple of data sets would look like merged, or the term mashup. And so very simply, what I've done is I went to the Illinois Data Portal. I downloaded the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity's most recent census data. That data file is a CSV file, and it contains 2010 census, 2015, 20, 25, and I think maybe even 30 predictive census data as well. So it's a pretty rich data set, a whole lot of information in that data set. It also contains quite a bit of ethnicity data, so there's a lot of value there. Also from the State of Illinois Data Portal, I downloaded the 2010 Illinois Department of Revenue's tax filing data by county. And then from a non-State of Illinois website, I found a file of Illinois counties, cities, and zip codes all together. So that's the beauty of this this kind of operation. You have the opportunity to freelance. You can go to the data site. You can look at Chicago or Cook County, or you can go anywhere else on the web and download data sets, merge those data sets to present a number of different trends and views. And so I merged the data sets by county using the county code, and I rendered it to, with the help of someone that works for me at DOT, rendered it to ArcGIS.com, which is an Esri product, and it's free. It's open source, freely available. And so what you see here on your screen now is the state of Illinois. I'm backing out there a little bit so you can see. I'll add a base map here. All these come free. It's all open source data, open source mapping tools. I'm honing in, and what I will do, so I'm actually going to click on a county. We'll click on Sangamon County, Illinois. This is the number of tax returns that were filed, 3,123. You see the total dollar value of those tax returns. Somehow that seems low, but nonetheless, we'll accept it the way it is. And then you see the ethnicity statistics that were provided from the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity data set. So in other words, all this application put together took about 30 minutes, 45 minutes at total. Today I tried to add another data set to it, but I just ran out of time. I didn't get started until about 11 o'clock, and so wasn't able to get it done. But I'm going to click on another county here. So you can see each county, just clicking on available via the map that's provided by Esri. You can see the statistics, and I click this arrow and go to the next set of data. You could include road data by county. You can include unemployment statistics by county, employment, the number of people in the labor force in each county, just a wide variety of information is available. And this is just one example of literally hundreds or thousands of examples you could present using data. The value of this data by itself is probably fairly limited, but when you merge it with other data sets, it becomes a very rich data set in which you can make good decisions. So again, we believe in the state of Illinois, the more data that we can put out there, there may be solutions to problems we have within state government, maybe county and city, that we could get some help from developers that want to mash up some of these data sets. So we're open. If you've got any data sets you would like to get that are not available on our website, feel free to contact us. My name again is Mark Kincaid. I'm with the Illinois Department of Transportation. Feel free to call or email, and we'll do what we can to get those data sets made available. Thank you very much, and I think that's all for me.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Sir.
And I think that's just about it for today. I'd like to thank everybody who's participated. Mark Kincaid. You can't really see him because now I'm just pointing at the screen. Mark Kincaid with the state of Illinois, CIO at IDOT. Greg Wass, CIO for Cook County Government. Greg Sanders, CMAP. The guys at Polycom, Jerry and Mike. Dwayne McCollum, the guy behind the curtain over at the 27th floor of the Cook County building. And a special thanks to Tony Preckwinkle, Cook County Board President, for making all of this happen. Once again, I want to remind everybody that it is Big Data Week and Open Data Week. Tomorrow, the Global Data Science Hackathon is going on. So look for some news coming out of there over the course of the weekend and on Monday. And feel free to go to Metro Chicago Data and peruse all the data sets, whatnot. Oh, a thank you to Cam Caldwell. Cam, I owe you a soda for forgetting you. I didn't forget you because I just remembered you, but I owe you a soda for almost forgetting you. But feel free to go to the Metro Data Chicago site, go to CMAP, take a look at the data, download data from each, mash it together with the tools that Mark was using. Have yourself some fun. Reach out to all four of us. If you're interested in seeing something, let us know. We'll do what we can to get you the data. There's a ton of data out there. We're just scratching the surface, and you can help us get the most pertinent stuff up faster. But anyway, that's it, and thank you very much. Good day.